what about a trailer park?
Yeah.
I know people have land. Like how many acres you say you got?
Just a quarter. It's not even a quarter. It's less than a quarter. It's probably
an acre.
Yeah, of an acre.
Oh, okay. I'm saying it's 3 or 4.
No, yeah. It's not a whole lot of land. It's really just enough to get started.
A house.
And it's in a neighborhood just like this. Yeah, so there's like an empty lot between 2 houses.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna get it cleared, build a house right there. And obviously it'll be new, so the property value of that house is gonna be pretty high. There's a lot of stuff going on in the area as well, like new development and things like that that'll help boost that. And again, like I just want to be able to do that so I can start making some money off of some real estate. Hopefully I can rinse and repeat correctly so that I build enough to just build my own house on my own instead of buying a house for $400,000 that I don't have and then be in debt for 30 years trying to pay it off. 30. I mean, that's not uncommon to have a 30-year mortgage. Some people do like a 15.
I know the first house we bought in New York was wasn't but $14,000 or $14,000. I think it was 12. And they give you 20 years.
Man.
And you know what? We took the 20 years to pay.
Yeah.
We didn't have nothing.
Exactly. But that's debt that you have for 20 years, and had you missed the payment, God forbid, you lose your job or something like that. Now you in a predicament, and it affects your credit. And I'm just like, I'd rather just go into it and say, hey, look, I got the money to build it. Let's just build it out right. And now it's mine.
But when we sold it for 2 or 3, I think it was close to $300,000.
See, I mean, so you made your money off of it.
Yeah, I for $12,000. It wasn't even $12,000.
Yeah.
I think we did good, but that's what gave us and plus that house we had in New York, our first house. We had a tenant live. They had put the basement, made the basement into an apartment, and it's still like that as far as I know it. But it was a man lived down there. And he actually paid the mortgage.
Wow, see?
He paid the mortgage. The mortgage wasn't much. The mortgage wasn't quite $100. So Abe was working in the post office then. So we was able to, we just been blessed with that.
Right.
And we wasn't big spenders. I'm not big spenders. He didn't really know how to, I had been around my parents and they talked about how important it is for to own your own house and stuff. So Papa always wants you to own your own house.
Really?
Well, maybe that's a way you can start with Tommy then. Tommy, just tell him what you thinking of in mind and what do he think about. He might not just start off because he ain't going to want to talk to you about the land. Really? I don't know why.
He doesn't like talking about it?
And I don't think it's a good thing, but
Yeah. Well, I've talked to him before. I talked to him this year, actually.
About the land?
I did, because I told him...
okay, well, maybe he will.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he seemed like he had an open mind to it. I just told him I was interested. I was like, I'm getting into real estate. I know that you own real estate. You and your brothers got this house, and you guys been working on the land. And I was like, I know you go down there yourself and work on the land physically. So I was asking him if he needed some help, but to let me know the next time he went down. And he said that he had just came back. Like the day I called him was like the day after he had came back from Mississippi. He was like, I was just working on it yesterday. I was like, man, I could have came down there and helped you.
He 80 years old now.
That's what I'm saying. I wanted to help him out.
100 and something miles to cut a yard.
Right. But that's the thing. I know he's been doing a lot on his own, and for good reason, because there hasn't been a lot of people that's been willing to help. So I just wanted to put it out there that there is people in the family that's interested and want to.
I think they would come down there and help him if he would open up to that. Because I think Jeff would come and somebody. Jeff was working. Everybody retired now, but the ones that retired, I don't know about. What about Craig? He retired.
No, I think he's still working.
Still working.
I think so.
But if they set a date like the family reunion, like they don't set that date to come down, they ain't on family reunion. Let's go down there and do some work in Lexington at certain, once a year or something. And
definitely,
I believe you all will do it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's one of the main reasons why I want to go down there.
A little bit. I don't know what it is. He just. I'm just open. I tell my truth. I don't have no business. I don't care about them knowing what I got in the bank. I don't care about nothing like that.
And I appreciate it.
They ain't a damn penny of it. Because listen, I still control my own finance.
Exactly.
And maybe I'd be different if I didn't. But I know what I got in the savings and what I have anyway. My checking account. Oh man, you ought to see. I got that calculator because now sometimes you forget when you subtract, and then I get that calculator and go what, and keep it whatever the bank says.
Hey, look, as long as you know how to work it, as long as you know how to work it. But you know, Auntie, that's one thing I really love about you because you didn't stay sharp. Since I met you from till now, yeah, I feel like you've been the same with it. Like
no, I forget
you have,
now.
you have.
I kind of forget that stuff because sometimes I don't subtract right.
I mean, everybody forgets. I forget stuff. I'm only in my 30s.
Yeah, you be done borrow sometimes on zeros, and you have to subtract from like 100 or from 1,000. Because one time my checkbook you got so many thousand and nothing and no hundreds, and then 57 cents. Instead of me leaving the 57 cent alone, just start. I really don't. Y'all didn't learn to add and subtract like we did. Y'all probably know how to cancel the zeros and stuff. I don't know how to do that. I got to borrow.
We got that new age arithmetic. But you're doing something right, though. The math you know has been working.
I keep it right. I don't have no Harlan be telling me sometime, Ma. I said, I got to go tomorrow and get the car, something done to the car, excuse me. And he said, oh, gosh, next month I got to get my license, go down to the license bureau and do this, do that, tag. He said, you know you can keep up with that stuff. Oh, I can't even keep up with it. Let things you laugh and go, not me.
Yeah.
I keep right up with it.
Have you always been like that your whole life?
Yeah, I kept up with I always kept things. Because my husband didn't know how to do nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he was working and doing what he do. So I was always the one to write the checks. I tried to teach him. I said, you got to learn how to write these checks and do this. Because years ago, they don't have the direct deposits and all that years ago.
Right.
That's something, I mean, it's been a long time now.
Right.
Had it, but you used to get a paper check.
Mm-hmm.
And then they used to send a paper check for the Social Security and all that stuff. So, but now you don't,
It's all digital now.
It's all digital. You get it. You just write it into your checkbook. But he didn't want to be bothered with that. I said, okay.
So that was your role.
Yeah, I had to do that. I had to do all of that.
So when you were coming up, did you go to school? You went to school out of Mississippi, right?
Yeah.
Did you learn a lot of like math at home as well? Like was Papa and your mom teaching you that stuff too?
No, they didn't know nothing but the ABCs and how to count. That's what we did. Like sitting around the fireplace and at night, Papa roast peanuts and I had the lady laughing about the popcorn. Everybody told you we used to popcorn in a skillet and sit it over the fireplace.
No.
We used to raise popcorn.
In the skillet? So wait, what'd you cover it with? So the popcorn didn't go flying?
You have to cover it with something.
Okay.
And sometimes you got to let the little air get in there.
Uh-huh.
And it'd be just a pop and you have it on charcoals.
Okay.
And stuff. And that's what that was our entertainment. But we would be saying timetables and that's all we did. We had no radio.
Mm-hmm.
Not when, we got one that didn't have play because we way back down in there. But we had good times during the day after we finished doing all our work and while we working. Mama believing you just need to work all day, and if it rains, you just if it ain't lightning and thunder, you get the needles and thread and patch whatever sew with you.
Right.
So when you come out the fields and things,
so it's always something that could be done.
Always something to do. Always. That's right.
Man.
And I think Earl and Betty raised their children kind of, in that, because that's why she likes to keep busy.
Yeah, busybody for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And look, it done came into me now.
You like to keep busy.
I'm the same way.
And, way. I never forget the Bree doing her building our house there. With that.
Oh yeah, she do it all. Even now, she's really good with like home remedies and building, just using what you have. She just made some mouthwash for me the other day. I had got my tooth pulled, and the doctor was telling me not to like use anything that had alcohol in it and stuff like that. So she made a little mouthwash out of some cloves and some almond oil and some other stuff. And I was like, man, I didn't even know you could do that. Yeah,
I'm so happy.
She's really resourceful. She's really smart.
Yeah. Now you still got the tenant downstairs. Are you changing?
Yeah, that's my friend. That's one of my good friends. That's one of my friends. Well, you said tenant like I don't know the man. Like that's one of I've known him actually. Out of everybody I know, I probably know him like one of the longest relationships I've had. I met him in college, like way back.
In college, you met him.
Yeah. So yeah, he's still doing his thing. But back to you though. Growing up in Mississippi, so what school did you go to?
We went to a public school.
Okay.
Like Lebanon school.
Okay.
Until you get to 8th grade.
Gotcha.
And then you graduate, and then you we went to the Saints.
Saints, gotcha. Same one as Grandpa, gotcha.
Yeah, what your dad, Grandpa went.
Okay.
With the Saints, and then you go, that's where you graduate from 4 years, but we never went to college. Didn't any of Mama children go to college? Sandra went later. Some went back later. I don't know if Brown took some courses, but I know Sandra took some courses, and Annie B. might have took a few courses in her later years.
Okay.
But I didn't know.
So after you left Saints, did you stay in Mississippi?
No. When I graduated, I left. Got married. Got pregnant. Got married. Crazy.
In that order, huh?
Yeah. Had babies. Started having babies and babies and babies.
But what was your mindset like at that time? You had just graduated Saints. Okay, so I know you was feeling like you was on top of the world. You was about to do your own thing. Like, where did you go next?
Oh, I know you like to have these stories like that.
Mm-hmm.
But one day I'm going to tell you how, back in the day, which was like in 50, 53, and 54, I graduated in 54.
Okay.
Back in the day, they used to run in the Lexington Advertiser, back of the paper, call them black girls. Aren't you tired of picking cotton? And you can come to, when I left home, I went to New York, but it was like a slave boat thing.
Wow.
Yes, sir. And you had a job, like a job to go to. When you get there, they take you to, I call it, back in the slave time, took you to chopping block.
Mm-hmm.
They did have office there. You had to fill out the application. That's why I said I'm going to write this stuff down for you. On my application, they'll ask you, do you know how to use a washing machine? Do you know how to use a toaster? Do you know how to use all of that? All your answers, most of them no, because you don't even know what a toaster is. We never had a toaster.
Right.
We didn't have nothing.
Wow.
We didn't have a washing machine. Do you know how to use this or that? No. But anyway, they'll take you to in that job. That's a job. You fill out an application now for a job. And then you go down to Jackson and you put that application, or you could mail it. I think we could have mailed it. But then they'll make contacts with you in New York.
If you qualify.
If you stupid, you qualify.
They was taking anybody. Anybody. But no, specifically black women, though. That's what the ad was
black.
for.
Yeah, I don't remember them saying nothing about men.
Wow.
I ought to look into that and find out whatever. Because they cut it out. But anyway, later, because they wouldn't, But they call it, and you can make, you tired of picking cotton for $3 or $4 a day, and you can make, so much a week.
Uh-huh.
I think I made, maybe you make $100 almost in a week.
Wow.
Sleeping in.
So you saw that ad, and you was like, I got to get out there.
Papa didn't want me to go, because he don't like you working in a white people's house. He didn't want me to go. So that was how I left home. They buy you a ticket.
Okay.
That's why I said slavery time.
Yeah.
You can get a ticket. So if you want to know more about that, they'll buy your ticket, the employing people.
Mm-hmm.
And you go, you had to go to Jackson and get on the not the Greyhound,
train.
but the other one, Trailaway bus.
Mm.
Yeah, not no train. And they'll buy your ticket, you go on, they'll take you to New York. And when you get there, it'd be somebody there waiting for you, because they'll tell you take these applications, and so that whoever select you will come there and get you.
Okay.
And actually, when I got there, they said they got somebody that don't know how to use a toaster. They got somebody. I'll just remember that now.
Right.
They got to show. So I had to have like 2 or 3 days of training. Because they're gonna show you how to use a toaster. How to do what other little something just might be as hard as using a toaster, and that kind of stuff. So that's how So I had to work 3 days without pay. And
so training was free. They didn't do that.
You working in somebody's house.
Right.
And then they could send you to. They just had a way. White people always had a way to get blacks to do their work.
For sure. When you're in control, that's it's not that hard. It's honestly not that hard.
I think the 2 or 3 days later, then somebody come and got me and work. Cause this lady done trained me how to push the thing down on the toast.
So you just making toast. So where were you working after your training? Were you working like in one house specifically, or did you move around?
One house. Okay. You stay there all day and all night. You didn't have to get nowhere to stay. You was living there.
Okay.
And you had 2 days off. You had Sunday and Thursday, I think, off. Okay. And on those days, but you still stayed there, because when I went there, I didn't go nowhere. I didn't know nobody. If you know somebody there, have family people, then you can,
But you were just out there, New York City, by yourself?
New York City.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. That is wild.
It is.
So how long did you do that job?
Not that long, because I soon got married.
Okay, so you met Uncle Abe while you was doing that?
I stayed there, I think a year. Mostly a year and a half, because I didn't go until 54, May 54, and then I got married in 55, but it was like November, almost 50, only a year and a half or so.
So where'd you meet Uncle at?
I ain't going into that.
Come on, we need to know this. You know where you met him at. Say you forgot, you know good and well. You remember that day like it was yesterday.
Yeah, it was another girl. Some girls from my hometown, they had went there on the same type. They lived in New York.
Okay.
And they from Lexington, out there at the Lebanon community. So they was there. So I went to see them, and I went to where they lived at, and I'm trying to think. He knew somebody lived in the same. He saw me. And he knew them, because by going there to see some kind of way, I don't know, just a miracle. Yeah. And I was telling this girl, well, I'm going to go because I don't know how to get home before night. I had to go back to where I live at. I didn't know how to get the buses. I was scared. And I remember he said, I'll show you how to get home. Because he would be, in the summertime, they would be standing around.
Right.
That's all how I met him through. He knew Jenny and them.
Okay.
Some Miss Myra Horton children.
Gotcha.
And that's how I met him. And then he showed me how to get home. And I think the next time I came around, I didn't know nobody else there. Oh, I had a cousin there on my father's side. That was a cousin, but these girls was not.
Right. Yeah, they was just from the area where you was from.
Right. That's where I live at. Where we lived up in Lexington.
Got you.
Yeah.
And you probably didn't see did you see a lot of the women who were in Mississippi? Like, did you see a lot of them in New York?
I didn't see nobody else but the one that helped me to get there. I used to talk to her.
Man, that's crazy.
We didn't see nobody, and she would, I think, we didn't even live that close together, but we talked all the time. But these girls that I'm talking about, I went to their house, then I started going there all the time. And they got kind of tired of me a little bit because they had been in New York. They were just my age. Just a grade higher than me.
Right.
We all went to school together.
And you didn't know nobody? You was just trying to have some friends.
Nobody, yeah. I was, well, if you don't have nobody, you don't want nobody. Every Sunday you off the same people. So then I would go with Abe to church. He said, he always went to church. So I went to the church. Then he would come to the Brooklyn and get me, because I didn't know how to get to the church.
Okay. He was driving?
No, he didn't learn to drive till we was married about 2 or 3 years before he even learned to drive.
So when you say he would come and get you, how did he do that?
He'd come on the train, on the subway, to that house where I was living at.
Okay.
He would come, and then I would go to his church. And then he had some friends, old lady used to cook for him sometime. And I would go there for dinner. After church, we would go to that lady's house, and just kind of then he would bring me back home by night. Yeah. By night, he'd bring me back home, back to where I lived at the white people house.
Okay.
And that was it. And then one thing led to another. That's the only man I met when I was in New York.
That was the one for you.
That was, yes, sir. Yeah, right. Listen, I wasn't smart like you. Who your girlfriend? I didn't even know that was your girlfriend after, where did I see
Oh, you love
Church.
switching the subject. You talking about my girlfriend
Yeah,
now.
you switching and going, I ain't got that kind of,
But I did want to ask you one more thing before I leave, though. So, when did you leave New York? I know you said you got there around 55, right? Or 54.
4, yeah.
So how you were in New York for a while, and then you came to Atlanta?
I got to get them dates together because I married in 55.
Right.
In November 55, I think November 24th, like Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I got a story with that marriage thing because back then they only would marry you if, I was going to a coach, Church of God in Christ, like what we was growing up at. And that didn't show up, I said, well, God trying to show me something. The pastor didn't come because something happened. He didn't want me to marry somebody from a Baptist church anyway.
Oh, wow.
I think that's what it was. But I didn't, I went back around I didn't have a wedding because that was just me and Andy B was there, young. I was 19 years old. Mm-hmm. And we wasn't going to we just went to, in the church and he was going to come around there. But we was going to get back to my husband's father's lived close to that church. And Ann and I lived there too, because until we, that's where we used to live there.
Oh, so Aunt Ann was in New York too?
Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't Uncle Lonnie, did he live in New York?
Lonnie, Ben.
Okay.
Everybody.
Okay.
So it's a story, I ain't going to keep on talking about it.
But were you the first one to go up there?
Yeah.
Oh, and they came after you.
One of my father's sister's children was there. He had 2 boys there. The Stiglers. I don't know if you ain't never heard much about the Stiglers.
Mm-mm.
They was there. So he was a very, when he found out I was there, he was very helpful with, what you used to. He was what you would call it. He got a teenage guy. He was much older.
Okay.
He was yeah.
That's what you needed, though. Somebody to help show you around.
Right. Whenever I would go up there to their house.
Okay.
I knew them. I knew them pretty good, but I knew Aunt Alma real good. But her boys was much older than me, so they was kind of had gone when I, grew up. They had left home already.
Okay.
But when they used to come home,
Yeah.
come home so you see them then.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So how long did you stay in New York after you got married?
We stayed there until, we stayed in New York until 88, I guess.
Oh, okay, so for a while.
Yeah.
Good while, okay.
Yeah, and then we moved to, down back to the coast, down on the Gulf Coast.
Where at?
Moss Point.
Moss Point.
Yeah, Mississippi. And we stayed there. We only stayed there like 10 and a half, 11 years, something like that. And then we moved over here.
So by the time you came to Atlanta, you had already had all your children.
Yeah, they were out of college then. They had gone. We moved to Atlanta, then Tina went to high school in Mississippi.
Okay.
They went to high school there, her and Tony.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they graduated, Tony went to Alcone, Mississippi. That's a college.
Come on now, I know that.
Well, it's in that. And Tina came to Oglethorpe in Georgia.
Yep.
That's where she went to college at.
Mm-hmm. That's where my niece is going.
Oh, that's where she's
Oglethorpe.
Mm-hmm. Going to Oglethorpe.
Yep, Malia.
What's she going to Oglethorpe for? What they specialize in?
I believe she was going for some science degree. I think.
I forgot what Tina majored in. Sure did. Yeah, Maliga. That's a good college, they say, but it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where Tina graduated from, Oglethorpe. But
Okay.
Kalada was here, and Kalada was working at the AT&T.
Okay.
So she got Tina a job at AT&T part-time. And when that was the summer, after Tina left, she got the part-time job. When Tina was so good at it, so they say, was she pretty what they was. They gave her a job right there by Oglethorpe, somewhere over there.
Oh, wow.
So she was able to leave the dorm
And go work.
and then go back for her classes and stuff. She'll tell you.
Oh, that's clutch.
Yeah.
That's clutch.
Yeah.
That's what's
so
up.
Tina ended up working for AT&T maybe 15 years. when they did that big cut on it, separated and did all that. She was, they sent her to London, and she was able to ask her about AT&T.
I will.
She was able to get around and you know, do good with them.
That was a big chapter for her.
And then they cut her down.
Man.
Like just as fast as she went up the line, she fell back down.
That's how these companies will do.
That's how they do.
Yeah.
And she worked, first they started with home. She was in, no, she went to New York. She stayed with Ann. She was still with AT&T. My sister Ann. And then she moved, after she got married, she moved back to down here. But she was still with AT&T.
For a long
she did a
time.
lot of years with them. And then they cut her loose.
So when she first started going to Oglethorpe, you didn't live in Atlanta.
No, we were still in Mississippi because that
Okay.
was I would say Tony was still in, Tony, they had just graduated from high school.
Gotcha.
But they did 88, was there a class of 88 or what? No, we were just moving down there. Anyway, we moved up here in 90 something, 91 or 92, because I worked in Mississippi at the school system. I'm like Sheila. I wasn't old enough to get that Social Security.
So you had to go to work.
I had to go to work or to get.
So that out of Moss Point, right?
Yeah,
what were you doing in the school system?
The Curry.
Okay.
They hired me when I first got there as a custodian.
Okay.
And then I was a custodian, so they trained me to go up to the administration building. Because I was at a school.
Right.
And you had to sweep the floors and
was it an elementary school, middle school?
a
high school?
You had to go to all of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you wasn't hired. You was hired as what they call it when somebody don't show up.
Just like a substitute.
Sub.
Okay.
That's right, sub. So you go, but I worked every day. Somebody didn't show up.
Man.
So go to this school. They had about 18 or 20 stops. That's including the high school and the annex and the stadiums and, junior highs and high schools. Altogether had about 20 stops to make on the 20 schools, I mean.
Okay.
So I could go to any, when somebody didn't show up.
Right.
So they fooled around and sent me up to the administration building one day because that man, they said, you're going to probably have to be up there because the job I went to take was what it was. Anyway, he had a surgery.
Okay.
So he was going to be out 6 weeks. So, so I went up there. I didn't know what to do up there, and they showed me how to run it. That's all I ended up being. The highest I got up there was the courier.
Courier, okay.
Courier. So
Yeah.
that was, actually you worked in the mail room. You did set up the board room. You run errands with courier, going to the,
different drop-offs
you
and
didn't have
stuff.
to push that broom no more.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
So
then what made you leave that to go to Atlanta?
Oh, well, what happened? Oh, when Uncle what happened? Oh, the children just talked us into it.
Really?
Yeah, we was okay there. We liked down there.
Yeah.
We liked down there.
It seemed like that's
on the beach.
Right. It seemed like that would be more your speed. Like, I'm curious why you guys moved. Because at that point you had no kids in the house. You know what I mean?
Sure, we lived.
You had money coming in. You was working. Unc was working.
He was working. No, he wasn't working now. He had retired. He ain't here to look at nothing.
Oh, he had retired already.
After he retired from the transit authority, he was making good money.
Okay.
So he said he was tired. He was getting a little sick and all.
Yeah.
He didn't bother making no more money.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I had to work because I wasn't old enough to get, I didn't have no retirement.
Right.
Like Harley. So, but anyway, we made it. That's how we got there. So anyway.
But them kids that's who convinced y'all to go up to Atlanta.
Carlotta, Harlan was here, his wife. Who else was here?
So you want to get closer to them.
Tina was here because when she graduated from Oglethorpe, she didn't come back to Mississippi.
Right. Was Gwen here at that time, right?
Gwen was here. I don't know about Gwen.
Oh, maybe not. Not
She
yet.
might have been. But Tony was here. When we first came, Tony was in the service, and Tony stayed here. She stayed here too for a while.
She was probably at Fort Gillum, huh?
You could ask her, yeah.
Wow.
They was here, her and her husband, her first husband.
And you been here ever since.
Tony was in when she got out of Alcon, then I think, she never did move here. She was here before how did Tony get here? She was here for a while, I know.
Okay.
Maybe because she married a guy the first husband was from Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw him up there at Home Depot when we moved here. Hey, Mom. I said, hi. I didn't know who he was.
Look at you just saying hi to anybody.
I couldn't call me Mom because I was old. And so he was what was he at the Home Depot? I don't know what Curtis was. So he said, I know you don't know who I am. He came and found me. I said, so how you doing? And kept walking. And then he said, now look, me and Tony were married for a little while. But I said, I know you better than that. He said, I'm Curtis here. I'm your son-in-law. I said, wait, you sure is.
Small world, too
small. But his mom and father was here.
Okay.
And everything. Tony got married to him in Georgia, I think.
And so I'm sure she left after they divorced.
Oh, Tony, they hadn't went out got stationed out in Texas.
Oh.
And Tony came. I was still in Mississippi when she was bringing him back to his mama, where she got him from. And I didn't know.
The drop off. Oh,
so
man.
They stopped with us, and they came through on 10 from Texas.
Okay.
And came to, she was there. She ain't said a word. I know she had the truck, a car, something with a hitch on it.
Mm-hmm.
So then that next morning they left and went on they just stayed there like they was, Then they got up and went on they might have stayed, I don't know if they stayed 2 days or not. I think she just stayed overnight there.
Gotcha.
I got to ask Tony. And then she don't like talking about Curtis.
We'll catch up and finish that story another time.
Oh, my goodness.